Hello everybody, my name is Bragster, this is Cai.
Hello, I'm back.
Yes.
I am back.
After the longest hiatus in YouTube history.
When was the last time, was it Mania? Have I been gone since Mania?
You've been gone since Mania.
I've been gone since Mania.
You got him absolutely battered at Mania.
Yeah, we did.
And then you left.
Yeah, I just thought, do you know what, I need some time off from the Bragster YouTube channel, and I'm now back.
Yeah.
Back and better than ever.
I bloody hope so, because you were shit before.
Well, this is going to be just as bad. For some context, I've never watched an AEW show in my life. I might have watched a few clips when CM Punk returned, and that is about all I've seen from AEW.
So, as you said, for context, you've never seen it.
Nope.
I've been wanting to do this with you.
Yeah.
For so long.
It's not that I've not wanted to see it.
No.
I just never got round to it.
And I feel like we both said, once obviously we started talking about wrestling, we both said that your first AEW show kind of had to be a pay-per-view.
Yes, yeah.
And we were going to do Double or Nothing, but things came up.
Yeah, I can't remember what came up with something.
But something came up.
I think I was working.
Whereas Full Gear is here. And what a show this could be. I'm really excited for it. No Battle Royals, which is very unusual for AEW. Okay. I don't know if they're going to announce one on Rampage, but at the moment, no Battle Royals. There's enough matches on the card. Jesus Christ. So, we're going to start off with the pre-show match, which is Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter facing off against Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa. Who are you going to go for and why?
I'm going to go with Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter because they've got Vicky Guerrero, as the Wikipedia page has told me. I haven't done research. I don't even know what the match card is. I've just literally got it here in front of me. It's the first time I've seen it. So I'm going to go with Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter just for the pure fact that Vicky Guerrero will be ringside for them.
Okay.
That's what that's my prediction.
I'm going to go for the obvious choice of Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa.
Okay.
As Hikaru Shida is the former AEW Women's Champion.
Can I just put it out there? If I win this, right, and you lose, this is probably one of the worst ever things to happen on your channel. You'll never live it down, ever.
No, I won't.
No, you'll never live it down.
It's obvious for me, Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is being built up to be a future AEW Women's Champion, and yeah, I just feel like it's the obvious choice. All of these women are in the TBS Championship Tournament, which is the secondary women's title.
Okay, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, so they are all still in this tournament, so I feel like this is just to build that up. Possibly set up a final. I don't really know the bracket too well, but it'll probably try and hint at what a final happening. Right. But yeah, it'll be a fun match. I just feel like Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa probably need it a bit more at the moment than the rest of them.
Well,
so yeah,
I'd like to say you're wrong, because Vicky Guerrero will win this match. She will get involved, and she will actually score the pinfall. And win the match for Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter. She will. I think Vicky Guerrero is the deciding factor in this match.
Moving on, next up on the card is a tag team match between Pac and Cody Rhodes facing off against Andrade Idolo. Sorry, I always muck that one up. And Malakai Black. Who have you got and why?
Well, it's almost the battle of the ex-WWE guys, isn't it? I'm going to go with Malakai Black and
Idolo. It's really hard because it's a very Mexican-y name. It's a very Mexican-y Spanish sort of name.
So they pronounce it
the way we usually say it is you have to actually change your voice for that name. It's really weird.
I'm going to go with those two because I feel like they'll need it more. Not that I know the position of them on the card right now. However, I think that Malakai Black needs it over Pac and Cody Rhodes.
I'm going to be honest here.
Yeah.
This is one of the toughest matches on the card.
Okay, nice. Right, okay, that's all right. That makes me feel a bit better about my prediction.
And I was actually going to go for Malakai Black and Andrade as well. I feel like this could be, obviously, with the pay-per-view cards, there will be a lot of happy babyface moments. I feel like this is a bit where the dark side will win. And Malakai Black has had Cody Rhodes as number 4 a while. Cody then got his win back. I feel like, for me, it's just, I can't believe, as you said, you've never seen it. I feel like Andrade and Malakai Black need it more.
I was right, I told you.
Cody Rhodes will forever be the John Cena of AEW. They push him as a face. Everyone wants to boo him. Pac is loved, absolutely loved, but it just felt a bit shoehorned in, and I know he wasn't because the storyline does make up for it, but he feels a lot more shoehorned in. It's a weird match, this one, because I feel like they wanted these guys on the card, so put the two feuds together.
Right, okay.
It kind of works.
Very much like a Raw episode.
Yeah, kind of. It's why it'll just be randomly in the middle of the card.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to go for Malakai Black and Andrade for this one. Next up on the card is the Falls Count Anywhere match between Christian Cage and Jurassic Express, which is Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, facing off against the Superkliq, which is Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. Who have you got and why?
I'm going to go with Superkliq on this one. Because Adam Cole, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's had a match yet in AEW, has he? He's had quite a few. I'm just going to go with Superkliq, which is Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, because I feel like you were telling me the other day that the Young Bucks had lost recently, and I feel like they'll need a win to keep strong, and that's what I'm going to go with.
Again, I feel like this is another tough one. It's classic with AEW shows. These ones are always really tough to predict. I'm tempted to go with the Superkliq as well. I don't really know why.
Okay, that's alright. That makes me feel a bit better. At least I had a reason, even though it was incorrect.
Yeah, I genuinely, again, with these multi-man matches, like these two teams have been feuding for ages. Basically, since Adam Cole got into AEW at Double or Nothing, these guys have been feuding. That's been a couple of months now. So yeah, I don't really know where they're going to go with this. I think if it's the end of the feud, the baby faces will win. If it's not, the heels will probably win. I'm going to go with the Superkliq off the basis of setting up that main event a little bit more. That's kind of my only reasoning.
Okay,
I'm just making it up.
So am I. Yeah. Next up, we've got CM Punk. Well, the Wikipedia page is telling me we've got CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. Connor, who have you got and why?
I'm going to go with CM Punk, right?
Okay, nice.
And this feud, I will show you so much more off camera, but this feud is probably one of the most anticipated matches on the card.
Right.
They have built this up brilliantly. So much of it is reminiscent of John Cena versus CM Punk back in the day.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, where rather than John Cena being the sellout, CM Punk is.
Oh, nice.
And the real guy in this situation is Eddie Kingston. The man who wears his heart on his sleeve week in, week out is Eddie Kingston. And I'm going to go with CM Punk. Now, I've heard CM Punk is a massive fan of Eddie Kingston. Now, number one, that could be a reason for this match happening in general. Number two, it could be a reason for Eddie Kingston to take the first loss for CM Punk. I'm going to say they're going to hold off on the first loss for CM Punk, but it wouldn't surprise me if Kingston won it.
Okay.
Who have you got?
Well, I was going to go with CM Punk. However, you've given me a reason to go for Eddie Kingston, so I'm going to go for Eddie Kingston just to make it interesting. I'm going to go for Eddie Kingston for those reasons. I don't really have a reason. To be honest with you, I know it's bad of me and poor knowledge, but I don't think I've ever seen Eddie Kingston match, which is very, very poor of me, really.
It is. But I can tell you now, a lot of people have said this online, that no one really knew of Eddie Kingston that much before AEW, and he's been one of the standouts. He wasn't meant to sign a full-time deal. He made such an impact. They brought him in, and he's one of the mainstays. He's one of the best promos in wrestling by a country mile. That's why this feud has been so good, because they're both great on the mic. And Eddie Kingston is great at selling in the ring. You know, he's not your traditional wrestler, but he will impress. Next up on the card is Darby Allin with Sting facing off against MJF, who's with Wardlow. Who have you got and why?
Quite frankly, I really don't know. I'm half tempted to get a coin out, but I haven't got a coin on me. So I'm going to go. I know you're looking on your side and you've got one on your side. I did see it, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go with MJF, I think, just for the pure fact that his name's shorter.
Brilliant. Great analysis.
That's my analysis of this match.
Great analysis.
Yeah, I've seen these two. I haven't seen these matches of these two, but I am just going to go with MJF because his name is Sean.
Okay. This is an amazing match for me personally on the card. Number one, it's going to be great. Number two, it's a match between the two hottest AEW born stars.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Because obviously I'd not seen the card before this, and this is the first time I've seen the card. Darby Allin match versus MJF is very, very AEW. Yeah,
it's massively AEW, and I'm glad. But I think it might be one of, if not the first time, these two are faced off.
Oh, really?
Which is just incredible. Absolutely incredible that it's got to this point. I'm gonna go with Darby Allin, just because I feel like the storyline is leaning that way.
Okay.
MJF battered Darby Allin after one of his loss to Chris Jericho, and then Darby Allin was away for weeks. MJF kind of kept goading him, going, "You're a coward," this, that, and the other. Darby Allin has got the upper hand recently, so it could go either way. But I'm gonna go with Darby Allin. I feel like Darby Allin is the one that needs the win. Even though MJF just lost on the last pay-per-view, I feel like MJF can get heat back like that.
Right, okay.
I feel like Darby Allin, if he lost here, where does he go? I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm just leaning towards Darby Allin, so I'm going to go with that. Next up on the card is the AEW World Tag Team Championship match between the Lucha Bros and FTR. Now, for context, I know you pretty much already know this, but FTR took the AAA tag team titles off of Lucha Bros, which is what set up this one, because FTR took one title, they want to take the other.
Right.
Who have you got?
FTR. I don't know why. What do you mean? What? You
think they're going to take both titles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's my prediction. I don't know why. I just want them to take both titles, and I know that from your reaction they're not going to, and this is probably the only guaranteed result on the card that we were talking about earlier. However, I'm going with FTR. Stick my guns.
I'm going to go with Lucha Bros.
Nice.
For the reason of...
We've pretty much varied on every single one.
Yep.
Yeah?
I'm going to go for the Lucha Bros for the simple reason they won it on the last show at Double or Nothing in one of the best tag team matches I can remember. Against the Young Bucks.
Okay, yeah.
They took the titles from the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing. I feel like them losing the AAA titles, I think, was really clever. I feel like that's added a little advocate to this storyline. I feel like it's made the Lucha Bros look beatable, but I feel like they're going to get their win back here. They're going to keep the AEW titles, especially with the way they won those titles. Like, they were it was such an emotional moment on the last show. I can see them keeping it for a long time. Right. So I'm going to go with the Lucha Bros. Next up on the card is the Minneapolis street fight between the Inner Circle, I'm not going to go through all the members, facing off against the Men of the Year and America's Top Team. Who have you got?
I'm going with the Inner Circle. Purely because I'm just looking through the members of the Inner Circle. Every single one of them has a Wikipedia page. When you're looking at Men of the Year, alright, Men of the Year have got a separate Wikipedia page. However, America's Top Team, Dan Lambert doesn't have one. No. So therefore, my prediction goes with the Inner Circle.
Okay. Dan Lambert is the manager that I was telling you about.
And he doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
I can't remember where he's come from. He's come from like the NFL or something.
Okay.
I'm also going to go for the Inner Circle. I mentioned to Kai earlier a match that I think is obvious.
Oh, right.
I feel like this is the one. I feel like, for me, the Men of the Year and America's Top Team are booed out the building every week. They've just battered the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle are going to get their win back. They've battered the Inner Circle because it's like, oh, can they recover? Yes, they can, because of the Inner fucking Circle. The Men of the Year will stand out in this match. I feel like even Paige and Scorpio Sky are two of my favourites that I've really gotten to know since the birth of AEW and since I started watching Impact a lot more. They are two absolute stars. They are the future of the business. Even Paige is definitely the future of the business. I feel like Scorpio Sky nearly reached that, but I feel like he reached his ceiling a little bit and he didn't quite prove himself to be a world champion. He didn't quite prove himself to be world champion potential, which is fine. That happens. You push a guy and it doesn't quite work out.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I'm going to go with the Inner Circle. I feel like it's the obvious choice here.
Next up, we've got Bryan Danielson, formerly known as Daniel Bryan, against Miro, formerly known as Rusev. Connor, who have you got and why?
I really don't know. I cannot tell you. For me, most unpredictable.
Okay.
Because Bryan Danielson, I'll give you context of the tournament.
Yeah.
So, obviously, best.
I think actually this is the one bit of AEW that I've kept in touch with recently because it's Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. Best wishes obviously go out to Jon Moxley. Mm-hmm. He did the right thing in taking care of himself. That's a constant important message to take out there. Yeah. I feel like AEW have done a great job of making this still feel unpredictable, even though Jon Moxley is no longer there. In this tournament, because obviously the winner of this will face the AEW World Champion, which again is an unpredictable match. It's a difficult one. So I'll run through the tournament very quickly for context for you to help you with your prediction. Mm-hmm. Daniel Bryan has won every single match by knockout. Right. He hasn't submitted them. Right. He hasn't pinned them. He's won it by completely incapacitated his opponent. Mm-hmm. And they're being unable to continue. Okay. Miro obviously didn't start in the competition. It's his second match since he lost the TNT title. Right. The first match he obviously battered Orange Cassidy, and that's like the big thing of, Jon Moxley in the first round destroyed Preston Vance in 2 minutes, and Preston Vance was bleeding and everything. It was a massacre. Okay. What Miro's done is taken over from that. Now, what that means, both of these go in dominating the tournament. Right. Which then creates the whole thing of
who's going to dominate
the final. And I don't think either of them will. It's so hard. So hard. I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson. Mm-hmm. My brain is saying Bryan Danielson. My heart is saying Miro. Okay. I do think they could pull the wool over our eyes and go with Miro. Yeah. But I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson just because, just the match. Yeah. I feel like this will go on the New Year's Smash episode, let's start the new year with this big match. Feel like this is, it will be the match, and what a better person to have on in that match than Bryan Danielson. Yeah. Who have you got?
I've also gone with Bryan Danielson for a different reason, actually a logical reason for this one.
Woo!
Because obviously I've paid attention to the Bryan Danielson and the storyline with Kenny Omega. They went to a draw last time they fought. I think if Daniel Bryan wins this one and then he'll get his rematch with Kenny Omega, that's essentially what I've got. I know it's very WWE booking of me to go into AEW. However, I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson to win for this one. That's the reason why. I've got a reason actually.
Nice.
It's a valid reason, not just he has a Wikipedia page.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. Hopefully next time we do this, I will actually have reasons for everything else as well.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Next up on the card is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, facing off against Ty Conti for the AEW Women's Championship. Who have you got and why?
Right. Well, I was just looking at the other main event, the other main event match for the main title that we've got, and I know my prediction for that one because I've been looking at it and stuff, and so I'm actually gonna go with Tay Conti to win it. I think for a new champion. Just because I think that Kenny Omega... I mean, I was going to go with Hangman and Paige, but I've just changed on the spot. I'm going to go with Tay Conti to win this because the other title will be retained by Kenny Omega. So I've just given away my prediction for the main event, sorry. But I think Tay Conti will win the new become the new women's champion at Full Gear.
Okay, this is going to be clipped to hell if I am wrong. I think this is one of the other most predictable matches on the card. And it will be Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Okay.
Now, Britt Baker is being built up to be one of the biggest stars in the women's division. She is the biggest star in the women's division. She's like the Becky Lynch of AEW at the moment. There is one woman that is being built up to take that title away. We alluded to her earlier in Thunder Rosa. That's the reason I stopped talking about Thunder Rosa earlier.
Nice.
Now,
I wouldn't have picked up on it anyway, probably.
Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker have been on a collision course. They met in an unsanctioned match, which doesn't... whoever wins and loses it doesn't come up on the
Skip,
graphic.
right, okay.
So obviously wins and losses matter. In an unsanctioned match, it doesn't matter.
That's fair enough. That makes sense.
Yeah, so
Makes
because it's unsanctioned.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa have won that.
Right, okay.
Since then, Britt Baker's the one that's got the title match.
Right.
Britt Baker's the one that's won the title.
Yeah. Well,
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, okay, I'm wrong. Okay, just.
I feel like that's the way they're going.
Yeah,
now, Thunder Rosa is also in the TBS Championship, so they could, again, pull the wool over our eyes and stuff like that. But I feel like the natural story is Thunder Rosa taking the title from Britt Baker, and then that being the big, like, coming full circle with their little rivalry.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, that's my reasoning.
Okay.
Purely relying on Thunder Rosa there. And the main event of the evening. Kenny Omega against Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship in a match that has been being set up since the beginning of AEW.
Okay.
Who have you got and why?
Well, I did just say I was going to go for Kenny Omega. Like, I literally just said that in the last prediction. But that wasn't the plan. I kind of confused myself. So I said, seriously, I sat there and was like, shit, I've dug myself into a hole here. I was like, I can't really go out of it. So my plan was to have Bryan Danielson win and face Kenny Omega. But then I thought, shit, I was going to have Hangman Adam Page to win the main event. So I kind of had to go.
Yeah.
But I'm going to change and go with Hangman Adam Page. I feel like that. Sorry, Siri. I'm going to go with Hangman Adam Page. I dug myself into a corner and confused myself in that last bit. I actually did. I was like, Bryan Danielson's going to win that because obviously Miro's been subbed in. That was my thinking.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, at some point him and Omega are going to clash. But then Omega would have to win, and I was like, that's not going to happen. So I've just confused myself. I'm confusing everyone else as I'm talking.
Probably.
So I'm going to go with Hangman and Page to win this, become the new champion.
Now, I know you for a fact that you've just said that and you think you're an idiot, right?
Yeah.
Now, my head is telling me that Kenny Omega's winning this.
Okay.
Massively telling me that Kenny Omega's winning this. However, my heart is with Hangman Adam Page.
Okay.
And similar to what I've been like with Kevin Owens in WWE, I can't not go for Paige.
Yeah.
Like, I've got such a soft spot for Paige. This whole storyline has been so beautifully crafted. And although Kenny Omega makes the most sense in terms of the title picture, I feel like Adam Page, it's fine. It's his moment.
Yeah.
And he took time away. I think this was meant to happen at Double or Nothing. Oh no, All Out. It wasn't Double or Nothing. I've been saying it wrong all the entire time.
Yeah.
All Out.
All Out. Right.
All Out was in September. Yes. Jesus Christ, I've been saying it wrong the entire time. Comment section will be going mad at me. I think this is meant to be happening at All Out. Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order faced off against the Elite. Everyone thought that was going to lead to the Dark Order winning, Page getting the title match. They lost. And the entire crowd was like, what? And then Adam Page obviously returned in the ladder match, got the chip down or whatever, the contract down, and he's got this chance. And I feel like it's the right story. Would it surprise me if Kenny Omega won? No, especially if Bryan Danielson wins the Eliminator tournament.
Yeah.
But the reason why I think Miro isn't a bad shout is because of Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why Miro's such a clever choice.
Yeah.
Because with my thinking of Adam Page winning, I can't see the match of Bryan Danielson versus Adam Page.
No, it's true.
But
I'm saying that like I've watched it so many times.
But I feel like that's where it's going, and it and I love it because, as I've said to you multiple times, AEW is so unpredictable, and I feel like that's why everyone is excited for this show, because we've gone through all these matches, and the amount of times you've gone, oh, I'm probably wrong with this, and I've gone, yeah, actually, probably not.
Yeah. Go either way.
You know, and I feel like that's the joy of this show, and I think the main event proves it, and I'm really looking forward to it. We will be streaming our live reactions to this show. Whether there is drinking rules or not depends on whether we recover from our mate's birthday, which is the Friday night. So if we do not recover, then it'll be energy drinks.
Yes. Yes.
If we do recover, it will be alcohol because it's a Saturday night. Why not?
I've got a feeling we won't recover.
I've got a feeling we won't recover. But if we do, obviously we'll keep you posted on the stream. So do join us for that because it will be a really good show. It'll be great to see Cai's reactions to all these people. Like fresh eyes on AEW. If you ever wanted to wonder what fresh eyes on AEW's product after 2 years will be,
Mate.
it will be there on Saturday night. So do join us for that. It'll be a lot of fun. Make sure to hit that like button on this video. Comment your own predictions down below. And yeah, if you're new here, please do subscribe so you do not miss the stream and the reactions. Thank you for joining me.
It's alright. Thank you for having me again. Yeah, thank you for having me back. I mean, we'll be doing this and then we've got Survivor Series coming up.
The week after.
Yeah. So I'll be back for that as well, don't you worry.
And the title will be back on the line for that. Yeah. I felt like it was a bit unfair to put the title on the line.
I mean, it's obvious, although you never know with AEW.
To be honest, I've probably saved myself.
Can you imagine if I win this? It would be the funniest thing to ever happen on this channel.
It will be absolutely hilarious, which is why I don't want it to happen.
Can you imagine if it comes down? Well, because the main event will have happened, so we both agree on the main event, so it's going to come down to like that. If the women's title goes on before, it's going to come down to that.
Yeah, it will come down to the women. But the thing is, I don't even know if the women's title will happen before. It could be like something
Danielson v Miro.
I think it might be CM Punk Eddie Kingston.
Oh,
that it comes down to, which would be nuts.
Imagine, yeah. That'd be
but yeah, so please join us for that because it's going to be such a good show, such a good laugh for about 5 hours.
We always have a laugh when we stream it.
Yeah, exactly. We always have a joke and a laugh. So yeah, join us for that, and we shall see all of you in the next video. See ya. Do you know that after my outro, I actually continue talking, and that actually goes in the video?
Oh, cool.
That's now in.